It's 10 a.m. by the studio clock. You're watching Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Tina Jha. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll be getting you all the big national and international developments. First up, the headlines. Prime Minister to reply to motion of thanks on the President's address in Rajya Sabha. Opposition looks to embarrass government by moving amendments. Congress issues whip to all MPs to be present in the House. Britain asks India and Pakistan to resume talks without allowing non-state actors to derail the process. Hails Pakistan's investigations into the Pathankot terror strike. National Green Tribunal's hearing on Art of Living Cultural Festival to continue today. Questions centre on why no environmental clearance is needed for temporary construction on the Yamuna floodplain. Pakistan cricket team's departure for India for World T20 tournament put on hold by the Pakistani Cricket Board. Reports say Pakistan not convinced with the response facilities at the venue in Dharamshala. And a total solar eclipse sweeps across vast Indonesian archipelago early today. India, however, gets to witness only a partial eclipse. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will reply to the debate on the motion of thanks to the President's address in the Rajya Sabha today. In a bid to embarrass the government, the Congress and the left parties have begun floor management on voting on the motion that will take place soon after the Prime Minister's reply. In fact, the Congress has issued a whip to its members, asking all of them to be present in the upper house during the reply today. Several amendments have been moved. These include amendments moved by Leader of Opposition Ghulam Nabi Azad, CPIM Leader Sitaram Yechury and CPI Leader D. Raja. Azad has moved an amendment against making educational qualification mandatory for contesting panchayat elections, hoping opposition members will rally together as the change hits grassroots level politics. In fact, Congress President Sonia Gandhi had, in her speech in the Lok Sabha on International Women's Day, lamented about the move to introduce mandatory educational qualification at the panchayat election level. Now, the left parties have moved an amendment against the move to scrap the minority educational institution status to the AMU. Another amendment that holds the potential to rally opposition is expressing regret that there was no mention of rising intolerance in the country and about the disturbing developments in universities, especially at JNU and the Hyderabad Central University in the President's speech. And after much hue and cry, Finance Minister Arun Jaitley on Tuesday announced the rollback of the proposed tax on withdrawals from the Employees' Provident Fund. He said that in view of the representations he had received, the government will like to do a comprehensive review of the proposal. Leaders across political parties welcomed the decision.
The government on Tuesday withdrew its budget proposal to tax pension fund withdrawals.
Arun Jaitley ji.
Madam, I rise to lay on the table of the House the papers mentioned at serial number 3 against my name in today's revised list of...
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley told Parliament that the government will pursue other suggestions that can achieve the same objective.
There are various other suggestions received which can also achieve the same policy objective of encouraging people to join the pension scheme. In view of the representations received, the government would like to do a comprehensive review of this proposal, and therefore I withdraw the proposal in paragraph 138 and 139 of my budget speech. The proposal of 40% exemption given to NPS subscribers at the time of withdrawal remains.
On February 29th, Jaitley proposed taxing lump sum withdrawals exceeding 40% of the Employees' Provident Fund unless the sum was reinvested in a pension product like an annuity. This immediately triggered a protest by salaried workers, although Jaitley did clarify that the intention was to make people invest properly in pension plans.
हमारी सरकार जो है वो लोगों की बात सुनती है, लोगों से सुझाव लेती है. हम लोगों ने उसमें परिवर्तन ले आए हैं. पीएफ जो था वैसे ही है जैसे पहले भी था, और एनपीएस को हम लोगों ने और बेहतर बना दिया है. और हम लोगों की सोच ये है और भरोसा भी ये है कि इससे और लोग रिटायरमेंट के लिए बचत करेंगे और अपने को रिटायरमेंट के समय सुरक्षित महसूस करें।
Jaitley's statement was marked by a show of jubilation in the House as lawmakers thumped their desks in appreciation. At present, withdrawal from the EPF is entirely tax-free, while withdrawal from the NPS is fully taxable.
Whenever somebody is being oppressed wrongly or acted against wrongly or victimized, I tend to try and help those people. So yes, I felt salaried people, middle class people were being hurt by the government, and so I decided to put some pressure on the government, and I'm very happy that they've got some relief.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी इसका स्वागत करती है क्योंकि एपीएफ पर जो टैक्स लगाया था एक वर्ग था जिसमें कहीं ना कहीं लोगों में नाराजगी थी, और क्योंकि ये बजट जो आया है केंद्र सरकार का, मोदी जी का, ये बजट आम जन का बजट है, कॉमन मैन का बजट है, और गरीब आदमी का बजट है, गरीब किसान का बजट है, नौजवान का बजट है, और उसमें कहीं ना कहीं इस ईपीएफ पर टैक्स को लेकर एक वर्ग में नाराजगी थी।
Jaitley's pension tax plan had sparked protests by the Congress and other parties. More than 1 lakh people signed a petition urging rollback of the proposal. The original proposal included restricting EPF contributions from April.
शुरू से आखिर तक ये सरकार जो कर रही है, जिसके बारे में हमारे पार्टी के महासचिव बोल चुके हैं कि ये जुमलानॉमिक्स है। जब जो लगता है कि जुमला काम कर जाएगा वो ही बोल देते हैं।
The EPF invests 95% of its nearly 68,100 billion rupees corpus in state and corporate bonds. It plans a return of 8.8% on investments this year. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And Finance Minister Arun Jaitley also responded to Rahul Gandhi's fair and lovely remark on income disclosure scheme by reminding the Congress party of its own track record of bringing a scheme back in 1997 under which there was no penalty for disclosure of black money. Jaitley defended his government's new black or untaxed money scheme by saying it is to give an opportunity to people to declare their untaxed incomes and that it's not an amnesty scheme. The finance minister reminded the Congress of a similar scheme that P. Chidambaram had announced in 1997. He called that an amnesty scheme in which people were asked to just pay 30% tax and declare it by paying at 1987 income tax rates. Jaitley also said that the government would release the names of those accused of possessing black money as per procedure and once criminal cases against them are registered.
We have said, if you have any income which has escaped assessment, declare it today. Over and above your tax, as of the value today, so no backdated value, as of the market value today, pay the tax plus 50% penalty. So it's not an amnesty scheme. So when you make comments about the steps that we are taking from foreign black money to domestic black money to filing prosecutions and assessments, please honestly compare your own track record in this regard.
In some other news, the mega cultural festival organized by the Art of Living Foundation on the banks of River Yamuna appears to be on shaky ground. The Delhi government told the National Green Tribunal in a hearing on Tuesday that no police or fire safety clearance had been given for the event. The NGT in turn has now asked the government how the event was cleared in the first place.
The National Green Tribunal on Tuesday heard a petition seeking cancellation of the 3-day World Culture Festival. Saying it will continue to hear the plea on Wednesday as well, the NGT has questioned the Environment Ministry why no environmental clearance was needed for constructing temporary structures on Yamuna Plains. This even as work on the Yamuna floodplains continues in full swing.
ये यहाँ होना नहीं चाहिए क्योंकि ये एनजीटी ने बैन किया हुआ है इस पूरे एरिया में, खासकर जहाँ पे स्टेज बनेगा, जहाँ से लोग आएंगे जाएंगे, ये सारा का सारा 25 साल का फ्लड प्लेन की जो लाइन है, फ्लड की जो लाइन है उसके अंदर आ रहा है। तो वहाँ तो किसी भी तरह की टेम्परेरी या परमानेंट स्ट्रक्चर बनाने की और कोई एक्टिविटी नहीं की जा सकती।
अगर इतना बड़ा कार्यक्रम है तो तमाम परमिशन की जरूरत है, और क्योंकि ये बात स्पष्ट रूप से आनी चाहिए कि जो हमारे ऊपर एलिगेशंस लग रही हैं, इलीगल इलीगल इलीगल, दो ही बातें हो रही हैं कि इन लोगों ने इलीगल यहाँ पर काम करा और इन लोगों ने जो है भयंकर रूप से जो है सारा पर्यावरण को नष्ट करा है। इन्हीं दो बातों को लेकर सबसे पहले कोर्ट सेटिस्फाई होगी कि हमने जो जो मंजूरी लेने की जरूरत है इतने बड़े प्रोग्राम के लिए क्या वो इन प्लेस हैं, उसी की बातचीत है। चलिए कोर्ट में।
डीपीसीसी की तरफ से कोई पक्ष रखा नहीं गया है, लेकिन एक सवाल तब के समय जरूर आया था कि डीपीसीसी का परमिशन मिल चुका था करके, लेकिन हमने बताया कि दरखास्त नवंबर में डीपीसीसी के लिए आया था, डीपीसीसी के परमिशन के लिए आया था, लेकिन डीपीसीसी ने इसका कोई परमिशन नहीं दिया था।
The environmentalists argue that the festival will severely damage the already delicate ecosystem of the river and cause irreversible damage to the floodplains. The organizer, the Art of Living Foundation, however, counters that it is following rules and will ensure that the event does not do extensive damage to the river.
पर्यावरण को हम दोषित नहीं करेंगे। मैं आपसे फिर से कहूंगा, हमने एक पेड़ भी नहीं काटा। पर्यावरण के लिए बहुत ही हमदर्द रखने वाले हैं और हम चाहते हैं हम सब लोग मिलके जमुना जी को ऐसा करें जहां लोग चल सकें, बदबू ना आए उधर।
The government has also come in for criticism after the Indian Army was roped in to make a temporary pontoon bridge for the event. The Defence Ministry says the decision was taken to ensure there is no security threat to those attending the event. The festival, which opens on Friday, is expected to draw 3.5 million people to the banks of the river. The festival site is spread over 1,000 acres and 35 lakh people are estimated to attend it. President Pranab Mukherjee, who had earlier agreed to attend the opening along with the Prime Minister, has conveyed he will not be present. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
A total solar eclipse began sweeping across the vast Indonesian archipelago early today. Hordes of sky-gazers flocked to Palembang in Sumatra, the place that witnessed the first sight of the spectacular celestial event. India, however, missed the total eclipse phenomenon as only a partial eclipse was visible, and that too only in the eastern part of the country.
Thousands of people across Indonesia and the Pacific witnessed a total solar eclipse this morning. At exactly 23:19 GMT, the moon began to pass directly in front of the sun, and when it reached totality, it blocked the sunlight, turning day into night. In Indonesia and the Central Pacific, people witnessed a total eclipse. It became visible at first in Palembang, Sumatra, before sweeping across Kalimantan and the islands of Sulawesi and northern Maluku. 12 of the 34 provinces in Indonesia witnessed the arc fully. Thousands of tourists flocked to Indonesia to witness the spectacle that's occurring in totality after 33 years. In neighboring Malaysia and Singapore, as well as parts of Australia, the eclipse was visible partially. So was in India. The spectacular phenomenon was seen only in some places in the eastern part. In Kolkata, the eclipse was in progress between 5:51 a.m. at the time of the sunrise and 6:06 a.m. when the maximum partial eclipse was visible. Along with Kolkata, Siliguri, Cooch Behar, Guwahati, Puri, Bhubaneswar, Chennai and Kanyakumari were the places which witnessed the partial solar eclipse. The celestial event will end at sunset local time north of Hawaii. And because the eclipse path crosses the international date line, it began on Wednesday, the 9th of March, as per local time zones, but will end on Tuesday, the 8th of March. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
So stunning views of that total solar eclipse early this morning. With that, time for a very short break here on Breakfast News. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amritan Rai. You're watching Constitutionally Yours.
इस तरह का वातावरण बनाना पड़ेगा कि महिलाएं भी स्वयं आगे आए।
एमपी एमएलए की चिंता है कि शिक्षा डेमोक्रेसी में धीरे धीरे आए या तेजी से आए।
क्यों नहीं हिंदुस्तान में कॉमन सिविल कोड लागू की जाए?
ये नहीं हो सकता कि सारी की सारी पॉपुलेशन एक सरीकी एक कल्चर में ढल जाए।
Join us as we try to understand contemporary issues related to the Constitution. Watch Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha Television.
Thanks for staying with us on Breakfast News. Now, Britain has urged both India and Pakistan to not allow non-state actors to derail the dialogue process between both countries. Asking the two neighbours to get to the talking table soon, Britain has also patted Pakistan in its probe into the Pathankot terror attack.
Britain has hailed Pakistan's efforts to pursue investigations into the Pathankot airbase attack in January this year. British Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond conveyed this to Pakistan during his visit to Islamabad. Hammond, however, stressed on the need for both India and Pakistan to resume talks.
We strongly welcome the steps that have been taken to create dialogue between India and Pakistan for the security of both countries, but also for the long-term economic development of both countries. Collaboration is essential. I would urge both governments not to allow non-state actors, whether they're terrorists, extremists, or political pressure groups, to derail a process.
Foreign Secretary level talks between India and Pakistan, scheduled for January 15, were postponed after the Indian air base in Pathankot near Pakistan's border was stormed by militants, killing 7 security personnel. India has alleged that Pakistan's territory was used for the terrorist attack and has been pressurizing Pakistan to act against the people involved in it.
Our joint investigation team is completing its work and is likely to go in the next few days. And we are also hopeful that India's Foreign Secretary level talks with India will also resume in the near future, because their own High Commissioner made a statement that the two are not linked. And so I hope that the talks can be resumed soon. And I agree with the Foreign Secretary that the dialogue is necessary on all issues, including terrorism, for it to move forward, because we should not allow extremists or other groups to hold our foreign policy objective of better relations.
Media reports had revealed that Pakistan security officials passed on information about a possible terror attack in Gujarat during the Shivratri festivities. Pakistan says intelligence sharing is a routine practice.
Intelligence sharing between intelligence agencies is something that happens in all parts of the world, and Pakistan has also been doing it with its counterparts for many years. The only thing unusual about this is that normally such intelligence sharing is not leaked to the media. In this case, it was done. So I'm not aware of details, but I think it shows that Pakistan and India at least are also cooperating in this field to avoid any incidents that could affect relationship. So it's a good first step, I think.
The British Foreign Secretary assured Pakistan of UK's continued backing in its fight against terror. Hammond also called on Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and Army Chief General Rahil Sharif. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And defying US pressure, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps test-fired several ballistic missiles yesterday. Fresh missile tests challenge a United Nations resolution which has barred Iran from undertaking any nuclear tests after the landmark deal between Iran and the 6 world powers. The United States threatened diplomatic response. However, the White House said they are currently reviewing the situation. Iran, however, justified the move, saying it does not have nuclear weapons and will continue to develop missiles. Revolutionary Guards in a statement said the tests demonstrate the country's deterrent power.
This is not a violation of the nuclear agreement. There's at least one specific United Nations Security Council resolution that could apply here. And the truth is, we're still reviewing the Iranian launch to assess whether it is necessary for this matter to be raised before the United Nations Security Council.
And for some more international updates, here's a quick world wrap. Democratic and Republican frontrunners Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump have won primaries in Mississippi. Trump won in Michigan as well. The 4-state contest will help choose the candidates who will compete in November's presidential election. Result in Michigan is important, where the frontrunners will seek to consolidate leads over their respective rivals. The Republicans are voting in Idaho and Hawaii as well. Amid high tensions in North Korea, leader Kim Jong-un has claimed that they have developed miniaturized nuclear warheads that can fit on ballistic missiles. This is the first time Kim has been quoted directly in the state-run media. Days before, Pyongyang had threatened to launch an indiscriminate nuclear strike in the wake of US-South Korea joint military drills. Reports suggest that US President Barack Obama will soon announce further measures to ease travel and trade restrictions on Cuba on the 17th of March. Now, this comes ahead of his historic visit to Havana for a visit tentatively on the 21st and 22nd of March. It will be the first visit to Cuba by a sitting US president since 1928. The new rules also mark the latest effort by Obama to use his executive powers to sidestep the US Congress. The Canadian government is planning to increase the number of immigrants intake this year with a focus on reuniting families and bringing in more refugees. The new Liberal government had promised to accept more Syrian refugees. Now it plans to bring in 2 to 3 lakh new permanent residents in 2016. And in a late-night development, the departure of Pakistan cricket team for India for the World T20 tournament has been put on hold by the Pakistani Cricket Board. Now, according to a report in the Dawn newspaper, the security team sent by Pakistan to Dharamshala was not convinced by the response facilities on offer at the venue. PCB Chairman Shahryar Khan said the Interior Ministry will decide today on the team's departure for India, which was supposed to depart at noon today from Lahore for New Delhi. It's also been learned that Shahryar Khan has already written to the BCCI to shift the India-Pakistan clash to either Mohali or Kolkata, but the BCCI has insisted that the match will be played in Dharamshala. In fact, an official at the PCB confirmed that Shahryar Khan, after discussions with the Interior Ministry, had informed the BCCI that the Pakistani government has advised the team against playing in Dharamshala. And Maria Sharapova's failed drug test at January's Australian Open, one of 4 annual Grand Slam events, will likely lead to a ban for the 28-year-old Russian. Swiss watchmaker Tag Heuer on Tuesday cut ties with Sharapova as a result of a failed drug test. This after Nike and Porsche also distanced themselves from the 5-time Grand Slam champion as she awaits a decision on whether she will be banned or not. On Monday, Sharapova had announced that she had tested positive for meldonium, which she said she was taking for diabetes and low magnesium. The substance, which boosts blood flow and enhances athletic performance, was recently banned by WADA. Her fellow athletes, however, had mixed reactions to the announcement. Top-ranked player Serena Williams said she was shocked but commended Sharapova for showing courage in taking responsibility.
I think most people were happy that she was upfront and very honest and showed a lot of courage to admit to what she had done and what she had neglected to look at in terms of the list at the end of the year. And so, with that being said, you know, like, it's just taking the responsibility, which she admitted that she was willing to do and ready to do. And, you know, I just, you know, hope the best for everyone in that situation.
Time now for a quick roundup of the first day of matches at the World T20 Championship. Afghanistan and Zimbabwe got off to a winning start in their opening matches respectively at the ICC World T20 in Nagpur yesterday. In the first encounter of round 1 of the tournament, Zimbabwe beat Hong Kong by 14 runs. Electing to bowl first, Hong Kong could not take the advantage. Zimbabwe's Viru Sibanda hit his maiden T20 half-century of 59 runs in just 46 balls, helping the team to take the lead in the game after the team lost 4 wickets in just 8 overs. Meanwhile, in the second match of the day, Afghanistan defeated Scotland again by 14 runs. Choosing to bat first, Afghanistan built a good score of 170 runs by losing 5 wickets. An 82-run second-wicket partnership between skipper Asghar Stanekzai, who scored 55 not out, and Shahzad's 61 runs helped Afghanistan to post a massive 170 runs. And for some more sports action, here's the sports beat. Sri Lankan all-rounder Angelo Matthews has been named as captain of the team for the ICC World T20. Matthew replaces injury-ravaged pacer Lasith Malinga, who managed to retain his place in the side. The defending champions will start their campaign on the 17th of March against the Group B qualifiers. Arsenal kept up their bid for a hat-trick of FA Cup trophies, marching into the quarter-finals as Olivier Giroud and Theo Walcott each netted twice in a 4-0 replay win at the second-tier Hull City. France striker Giroud had not scored in his 11 previous games but made the most of a terrible back pass from captain David Miller finishing calmly beneath keeper Eldin Jakupovic after 40 minutes. Rio 2016 organisers staged the Olympic golf event ahead of the sport's return to the Games this year for the first time since 1904 in the men's category and its overall debut in the women's category. Although 104 volunteers attended to just 9 national golfers, after all, international golfers invited to the event declined. The PGA Tour had tried to arrange for some of the world's best players to feature at the event but lost out to the schedule. That's it from us in this bulletin. Thanks for your time.